Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber more, only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow, from my bookcase to a case of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, through the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly for your forgiveness I implore. But the fact I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dreamed to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, then the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken left was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word "Lenore," merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon I heard again a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then, that where that is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, let this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven on the saintly days of yore. Not the least obsessance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but then mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my said fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest and shorn be shaven, though," I said, "outshort no raven. Ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on this night Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on this placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if its soul at one word it did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled by the stillness, broken by reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is only stock and store, or from some unhappy master, from whom merciful disaster followed fast till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore." But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl's fiery eyes now burn my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, as my head ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight glowing o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from unseen censer, sung by seraphim whose footfalls twinkled on the tufted door. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee by these angels, he hath sent thee respite and nepenthe from my memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, whether tempest sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore. Is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if with distant Aden, it shall clasp a sainted maiden from whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maven, who the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word or sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrink upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest from the night Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token of what lie thy soul has spoken. Leave thy loneliness unbroken. Quit that bust above my door. Take thy beak from out thy heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chambered door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming through the shadows on the floor. And from my soul, from out that shadow that lies floating on the door, shall be lifted nevermore.